Hello, this is California again. Welcome, welcome. Got a little bit of morning light going on in this room, but um, yeah, I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm kind of in transition right now, and I don't have all of my card decks available to me um, because I've got them safely stowed away, and but I do have my Harmonious Tarot and my what I call the mini cats, which are the it's the little small deck. It's the travel deck that I use. And when I travel, just for fun fact, so I have this little pouch that I bought while I was traveling one time, and I just thought it was so cute and appropriate. It's the perfect size. It's, kind of the size of a, makeup bag. And what I can keep in that is my little mini deck, and I can keep one of these battery operated light candles in there, and I can keep a crystal or two. I usually, I like to have this one just because it's multicolored and kind of has multi moods. And then I have a little bit of, what is it, selenite that I keep that I can hold on to, but it's small enough that all of this can fit into this little bag for travel. So that's just a little something that I do. So I decided that I could use that one, but I did hold back when I was packing up my oracles and tarot decks. I kept out one, and I chose to do the Harmonious Tarot just because it's very pretty, but it's also got a lot of the sort of traditional views. The artwork is unique, of course, to the deck, but the imagery is easy enough to interpret because it's got that traditional flavor behind it. Anyway, that was my reasoning for choosing that one to hold out for readings. But lately, I've been sort of feeling that the ancestors talking to me. I always have my spirit guides around, but sometimes certain factions or groups of my guides will make themselves known over a period of time. And most recently, it's been ancestors who have been, just kind of acting like they have a little bit of advice to give. I find that when I have crazy dreams, they're the ones who, when I wake up, are usually trying to help me figure out what I was looking at. Last night I had kind of a disturbing dream. I'm not going to repeat it because it was a little gruesome, but when I woke up, I thought, okay, what was that about? And as you do, and because you're frustrated that something that was sort of negative or ugly imagery, when you think that everything is happy, and there's nothing bad going on in my life right now. Like I said, I'm kind of in a period of transition, and but other than that, everything else is fine. And so why did I have a dream that had this really kind of ugly and super sad kind of imagery? And so usually it's the ancestors who step forward and say, okay, that's just the kind of thing that happens to remind you to appreciate the beauty that's around you. In this particular case, it actually put me in mind of my kitty cats who have passed, and during this time of transition, how am I, because of course I got them cremated and they're in these little boxes and it's something that I haven't thought through yet. How am I going to transport them? and or how am I going to make sure that they're safely taken care of while I'm kind of in a transit mode. So it was a jarring image to have to bring my mind around to those to try to figure out a solution for that. But it made me think, oh wow, I had not thought yet, and I do not want to just put my poor little babies who are now in spirit, my little kitty cat friends who are angel cats now. I don't want to put them in just some random box that is going to get mixed up with all the others. So anyway, it's just those kinds of things. And it's like, I guess that's making lemonade out of lemons, with that bad dream. But anyway, but I always kind of have the support of those who are, in spirit, who have gone before me and all that kind of stuff. But they've been talking to me a lot lately, as I've been trying to figure out, kind of what I want to do and where I want to be and this kind of stuff. So anyway, with a single deck though, I've been, trying to figure out what kind of readings can I be doing? How effective can my twin flame flow readings be? How effective can my travel readings be? I think where I'm going with this is that I'm in a phase where I will be kind of doing different readings for at least the foreseeable couple of months to come. And hopefully once I get where I'm going, I will be able to bust out all the decks again and start fresh. So anyway, ancestors, so I've got this single deck, and what they've been saying is, really just do a single card draw and tell one of your stories. Or kind of get the feels for, kind of dealing with whatever emotion the card comes up with. So we're trying something new today, is where all of this is going. And I'm going to use my Harmonious Tarot, the big deck, to do the one card draw. And then I'll use the mini cats as my clarifier. So without further ado, I'm going to just kind of clear that chitter chatter. Where's my wand? I've also got this huge piece of selenite that I kept out, and some crystals, as you can see. Okay. All right. I did pre-shuffle too, so let's go ahead and see what card wants to come out. Okay. The Five of Cups. Let me see if I can get this to stack up a little bit. Well, the Five of Cups is, actually, I'm going to bring that a little closer just so you guys can see it, because this is a different deck than. So you've got basically a lady here with what looks like a little girl, two little girls holding her train. She's got some kind of wreath that she's holding in her hand. There are 3 spilled cups down here, and there's 2 upright cups floating in heaven. I don't know what that means. She's oblivious. First of all, actually, all 3 of them have their eyes downcast and so they're not even looking at that. But I also would say they're not looking at these spilled cups either. She does sort of look like a bride who got left at the altar, and she's making her little flower girls help drag her dress out, kind of with her head hanging down. I mean, that's kind of what I see, but there, I guess I would say there's a message there that, don't bring people down with you. especially children who are so impressionable, it's so important to look up and to be standing straight and being that really upright example to those around us, especially the young ones who are looking to us for that example, looking to us to be resilient. I'm going to go ahead and use the mini cats and get a clarifier. Tell me about this. Oh. The world popped out. Let me get, let's see, is that going to stand up? There it goes. This kitty cats. I think this is basically saying is that when cups get spilled, the world doesn't end. It may feel like it's over, but it's just turning. It's just setting you up for another cycle. There's other cups to be had, and you just have to look for them. That doesn't mean that you're ready to look for them immediately. Everybody needs a little bit of a rest period, or a time to reason through why something bad happened to them. But it doesn't have to be the end of the world. I think this reading is about resilience, about not just working through and taking charge of your life, but really working on the ability to let things go. Let things teach you lessons. Well, of course, I'm getting the phrase, if it if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. God will never give you anything that you can't handle. All of those kinds of things. I mean, those are sayings that we have been saying for generations for a reason, because they hold true. But I think they mean different things to different people at different times, and certainly in different cultures, and certainly in different waves that society goes through, cultural waves. The things that, there have been times in the past when religion has been a lot more integral to daily life than it is now, for example, and therefore God will never give you something you can't handle possibly had a completely different feel to it than it does today. Obviously it depends on how developed and spiritual you consider yourself to be in those cases. I'm just using that as an example of how society interprets things, and yet there are things that hold true from generation to generation to generation. And that's why I think the ancestors want to say today that, first of all, you're here because I think they're trying to explain themselves to us today. We're all here because we had ancestors who did stand up and were resilient with things that fell. This could easily be, and I feel like there's some gruesomeness that came in through my dreams last night. This could be miscarriages. There were times in history when women, could not, had problems, or little ones, even if they were born, they had very short lives. And it was because of just what the medical attention was in those days, or how, where you lived and what you had, just in terms of resources in general. People starving, and how do you carry, a healthy baby when you're starving? It's always, kind of, now I'm going off on a tangent, but it's always been interesting to me that, the nutritional values that people had back in the day, and yet they were able to, have such large families and stuff. Forget about all the stories you hear about, oh, I can't provide for them, or we're living off the land, or all of that kind of stuff. The fact that women must have just been very strong stock. Human beings are very, very strong. And, it's just, when we think about how relatively easy we have it, and how relatively difficult all those many, many, many generations had, they couldn't allow themselves to get, we wouldn't be here if they had allowed themselves to constantly be distracted by spilled cups. They may not have always been able to, they were, human, to see that new cups were coming, or necessarily, where that next cycle was going to take them. But it's that faith, it's that resiliency, it's that I was put here for a reason feeling. I was, what is there that keeps us going forward as, a species? It's not just our ability to procreate, it's our creativity, it's our sense of wanting to understand the world. I mean, that's one of our most wonderful aspects of being human, as opposed to being any other kind of animal, is our ability to reason, have conscience, and try to do something with our lives that's meaningful, to ourselves, certainly, to others, wonderfully. It's just it's kind of, know that more beauty is coming, know that more opportunities are coming to you. I'm feeling like the kitty cats have another clarifier. Oops, there. Seven of Swords. That's like that deception. So another thought that they gave me to this morning as I was waking up and trying to reason through this dream is the things that we do to ourselves that we think are making us happy, and we can be so deceived in those things. She may not have been meant to marry that guy because there's some better guy coming. She was sinking low. She was already halfway to the ground, just saying yes to the guy. Or it's that feeling of not just being resilient, but knowing your worth. Being able, not letting things distract you, not letting not allowing influences to come in and tell you how to be or make you feel less than. To make you do things to yourself, say things to yourself, make yourself look a certain way, to compensate for something that has been put upon you, either by circumstance or by another person. We need to rise above that. We have everybody today who's on this planet has legions of ancestors who have persevered. Not everybody is good, but not everybody is bad. This is why it's so important for, if you are tuning into your ancestors, that you tune into those who are truly there to support you and guide you and love you as you step into the future where they have not been able to go. Do not let ancestors, and I'm talking even immediate generational ancestors, your parents, your grandparents, if they are not having been good examples to you, please do know that you have ancestors who do love you and see you as something beautiful, and they are so proud that you are here walking forward for them. Because they went through this bullshit too. They were human, and they kept walking forward because they saw the beauty of life. And they do not want you to get caught up in stuff that keeps you from being what they always thought you could be. So tune out anything negative, and make sure that when you are tapping in to your own emotions, to your spirit guides, that you are protecting yourself in a bubble of saying, there's a reason why readers out there say highest and best good. It's because there's so much negativity out there. There are going to be those people in your line, your ancestral lineage, that were bad, negative, cruel, did things, that they shouldn't do. Don't let them rule your energy. They had their chance. They did what they did. Something good has to come of this. And you are that good thing. And you will produce good things as a result. It's why we're here. We're here to pass love through. And there are so many things that are going to try to block our ability to continue to pass love through the lines. I'm being told to stop because this is where you can think about it for yourself. Okay, I'm being told to stop. I hope that meant something to somebody. It meant something to me to be able to relate it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.